What if there were a place where mountains descend directly into the sea, where ancient stone cities remain suspended between memory and modern life, and where the landscape carries the weight of countless civilizations without ever losing its stillness? A land where cedar forests survive above the clouds, where coastal ruins face the Mediterranean in silence, and where the unseen exists within the layers of history embedded into the terrain itself. Welcome to Lebanon, a country shaped by elevation, coastline, and the continuity of time. From the ancient presence of Beck to the cliffside atmosphere of Byblos, from the quiet heights of the Cedars of God to the layered rhythm of Beirut, Lebanon reveals landscapes where history and nature remain inseparable. Here, the day begins slowly. Light moves across stone ruins, mist drifts through mountain valleys, and the sea reflects a horizon that never fully settles into clarity. This is not a place defined by a single era, but by coexistence, where ancient memory, modern movement, and natural stillness continue side by side. This cinematic journey, Hidden Planet TV 4K takes you beyond the surface into the unseen side of Lebanon, where mountains, ruins, and silence exist in timeless balance. Across the very terrain of Lebanon, nature unfolds as a landscape of contrast, where mountains, forests, valleys, and coastline exist within a remarkably small yet deeply layered space. The mountains rise sharply from the Mediterranean, creating elevations where cold mist and sea air meet without transition, allowing the environment to shift rapidly between openness and enclosure. Forests of cedar remain scattered across the highlands, their ancient forms standing in stillness against changing weather and light, carrying a presence that feels older than the landscape surrounding them. Below, valleys cut through the terrain in deep lines, guiding rivers and shadows through spaces where sunlight appears only in fragments. Along the coast, cliffs and open water create a quieter rhythm. The sea remains constant, while the land above it changes continuously in texture and elevation. Throughout the day, light transforms the environment gradually. Mountains soften beneath haze, forests darken under shadow, and the coastline reflects shifting tones from the sky. And in its diversity, the landscape feels connected, as if every element belongs to the same continuous movement between stone, water, and air. In Lebanon, the unseen is not hidden within nature, but carried through its contrasts, where elevation, silence, and time exist in quiet harmony. Along the Mediterranean coast of Lebanon, Byblos unfolds at sunset as a space where stone, sea, and fading light merge into a single atmosphere of quiet continuity. The ancient city overlooks the shoreline with a calm permanence. Its weathered walls and narrow pathways remain shaped by centuries of presence, yet softened by the warm light descending across the coast. As the sun lowers toward the horizon, the color of the stone begins to shift. Golden tones deepen across the ruins while shadows lengthen through the streets and surrounding structures. The sea reflects the changing sky in muted layers, creating a horizon that feels suspended between movement and stillness. From the elevated edges of the city, the coastline stretches outward quietly, allowing distance and silence to become part of the experience. And in moments of activity, the atmosphere slows. Light fades gradually, and the rhythm of the city softens into something more reflective than visible. The transition between day and night feels almost uninterrupted, as if the city itself absorbs the passage of time without resistance. Byblos at sunset, the unseen is not hidden within the ruins, but within the fading light that surrounds them, where history, sea, and silence remain endlessly connected. From above the Mediterranean edge of Lebanon, the coastline unfolds as a continuous meeting point between mountain, city, and sea. cliffs descend sharply toward the water, while urban spaces stretch along the shore in layered formations that follow the natural contours of the land rather than replacing them. From an aerial perspective, the contrast becomes more visible. Deep blue water remains open and uninterrupted, while the coastline shifts constantly between rocky formations, narrow beaches, and dense architecture. The sea moves steadily beneath changing light, reflecting the sky in broad surfaces that soften the sharpness of the terrain above. Further inland, mountain ridges rise almost immediately from the coast, creating a rare closeness between elevation and open water. Throughout the day, haze drifts lightly across the horizon, blurring the boundaries between sea and sky and giving the landscape a suspended, almost weightless atmosphere. Even across large distances, the environment feels connected, each element flowing naturally into the next without clear separation. In the aerial coastline of Lebanon, the unseen is not hidden beyond the horizon, but within the relationship between land and sea, where movement, elevation, and silence exist in continuous balance. Beneath the mountains of Lebanon, Jeta Grotto unfolds as a hidden landscape where water and stone have shaped silence over immense stretches of time. The cavern extends deep beneath the surface, revealing chambers formed through slow geological movement rather than sudden force, creating spaces that feel both vast and enclosed. Stalactites descend from above in dense formations, while still water reflects the cave's interior with near-perfect clarity, doubling the sense of depth within the darkness. Light enters carefully, illuminating only fragments of the space and allowing much of the grotto to remain partially concealed. The air remains cool and motionless. Sound travels softly through the cavern, echoing against stone surfaces before dissolving back into silence. Movement through the grotto feels gradual. Paths and waterways guide the experience without fully revealing the scale of the environment all at once. And in stillness, the cave feels active, not through visible movement, but through the quiet presence of water continuously shaping the stone. In Jeta Grotto, the unseen is not hidden within darkness alone, but within the depth of time itself, where water, silence, and stone remain in endless transformation. From above the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon, Baalbek unfolds as a monumental landscape where architecture and open space exist in powerful stillness. The ancient complex rises from the surrounding plain with geometric precision, its massive stone columns casting long shadows that shift slowly across the ground. From a drone perspective, the scale becomes fully visible. Structures that appear immense from below begin to align into patterns, revealing an architectural order shaped by symmetry, distance, and elevation. The surrounding terrain remains wide and exposed, allowing the ruins to stand isolated against the mountains beyond, reinforcing the sense of permanence within the landscape. As light moves across the stone, textures emerge gradually. Weathered surfaces, fractured edges, and layers of construction shaped by centuries of exposure. Even in ruin, the site retains a sense of authority, not through movement, but through proportion and endurance. The silence surrounding the complex becomes more apparent from above, where the vastness of the valley contrasts with the precision of the structures below. In Baalbek, the unseen is not hidden within the ruins alone, but within their scale against the landscape, where stone, space, and time remain in silent balance. From the layered stillness of the nature of Lebanon to the fading light of Byblos at sunset, this journey has moved through landscapes where history and nature remain inseparable. From the aerial vastness of the Lebanon coastline to the hidden depth of Jeda Grotto, each place reveals a different balance between openness and concealment. Above the monumental ruins of Baalbek, stone continues to stand against time itself, carrying the presence of civilizations that never fully disappeared. Across Lebanon, mountain, sea, and memory remain connected through a rhythm that feels older than the present. This has been Hidden Planet TV 4K, exploring the unseen side of Lebanon, where elevation, silence, and ancient history exist in timeless continuity. And beyond what has been revealed, there are still valleys hidden in mist, coastlines waiting beneath fading light, and ruins where the unseen continues, waiting to be felt.